What's up, you guys? Zoe here from OneGlassTrader.com, and I'm really excited to be sharing with you episode 2 of my trading journal, Growing a £500 Account. And if you guys missed episode 1, you guys can find that episode by clicking the link in the top right hand corner or the first link in the description. Now, in this episode, I walk you guys through 2 live trades. The first one is on the Euro Pound 30-minute chart, and the second one is on the Euro USD 5-minute chart. Both trades are slightly different, both on different time frames, and it's just really to kind of show you guys that the setups and the analysis that I do is firstly not that hard to do. I've got a few indicators on the screen that kind of walk me through the analysis, and as you guys know, I've got alerts set up, push notifications to my phone, so I'm not staring at these 5-minute and 30-minute charts all day. So without further ado, let's get right into the first one, which is on the Euro Pound 30-minute chart, and I hope you enjoy it. So I've got another trade that I just want to walk you guys through my thought process. So we're on the Euro Pound, and I've just gone long, signified by this level over here. And what I've got is below the low, I have got my sell stop ready and waiting to go to activate the zone recovery EA if this trade does go against me. And the reason why you don't see the zone recovery EA on this particular screen is because I'm on my VPS and the zone recovery EA is on my main laptop machine, which is going to stay on now during the duration of this trade. And I've got my sell stop ready. I think it's around 25 pips, and I've got my take profit at the top by this yellow line at 25 pips as well. So this is kind of a one-to-one, and hopefully, you know, we're going to start to see price moving up towards that take profit target. And just to walk you guys through kind of the 2 main reasons why I've gone through this trade. The first one is, as you can clearly see using the trend dashboard, that the longer time frames are bullish, which is good to see. And you can see here on the 30-minute chart, we've had this long move up, a pull back again, and it's at this psychological round number level, and we're hoping to get another push back up. And if I just put the fibs on here, I don't really use fibs, as you guys know, but if you look at it, if you cut it any way of, let's assume that you take this move over here, you can see that it's hovering around the 61.8 level. And if you actually take the full move from these lows over here, you can see here that, you know, the psychological round number and price is around the zone of the 38.2 level. So again, that gives me some confidence, regardless of how you draw your fibs, that we are at a kind of key level here where I'm expecting price to go for another push up into the upside. So, you know, not really much going on with the MACD. You kind of had, you know, this would have been a nice little trade here, which unfortunately I missed due to the day job of, you know, the MACD not really making any higher highs and price here making higher highs, and these down arrows is the RSI MTF indicator signifying that we are overbought on multiple time frames. So, you know, I'm quite happy with this trade I've selected, and like I said, it's the start of the new trading day, and I think the ADR is around 60 to 70 pips. So even if it does go against me by 20 pips, it needs to make another, you know, 20 pips or so to kind of get out at break even. So that's 40 pips. So, you know, from what I understood and what I remember, I haven't got the ADR indicator up on here, but that's around happens 80% of the time in one direction. So, you know, I'm fairly confident if worse comes to worse, I can get out of this trade at some point today. So let's see how we get on with this trade, and yeah, I'll just see you guys inside a second. So I just want to walk you through the conclusion of this trade. As you can see from my terminal, we did hit our take profit target and closed out at just over £4, which is just under 1% of the overall account balance. And you can remember that we opened around here, so at this line over here at 0.90672 is where we opened our trade. And because the trade was quite late at night inside the UK, I had my pending sell stop ready down here 20 pips away, and then had my take profit target 20 pips away, as you can signify by this green line. So wasn't going to do any trailing on this one. I was just going to see how it went. And when I woke up in the morning, about 8:30 until the morning, I was just watching the market, and by 9:40, just over an hour later, we managed to hit our take profit target, which is great. So we're nowhere near our initial sell stop, and you can see now that even if we had it never even hit this low, even all of today's price action, and completely went straight up and smashed its ADR target. We're at 114% of today's ADR. So it does feel about how risk averse you want to be in terms of how much you want to set your kind of profit target. But if I was here, I would be trailing, and I would have probably got out at break even before this thing went up. So I'm glad I didn't do anything new in terms of moving stop to break even and things like that for this particular trade. So you can see we are very strong still on the euro pound. All time frames all bullish. So I think overall I was very happy with this trade. Banked just under 1% into the account, and like I said, this is kind of the kind of moves that I do. So so really hope you enjoyed this example. We're now going to go into another example of another trade that I actually took today on the Euro USD 5-minute chart. So watch that now. So I've got another long trade for you guys today on the Euro USD, this time on the 5-minute chart. So I just want to walk you guys through where I've entered, how I'm going to manage this trade, and the reasons for going long. So you guys can see now that I've placed my buy order at this level here, and generally whenever I place an order into the market, it naturally goes inside the wrong direction straight away. I've got a fairly tight kind of gap here before my sell stop is triggered. So you guys know that in this part of this journal, I'm trading the Zone Recovery EA, which is basically a money management system that looks to try to get me out of a trade if it goes against me, at least at break even. So, again, it's not something I trade on my larger account, but it's something I'm, really want to start to, learn a bit more around. And I thought, why not try it on this particular journal itself? So traditionally, yes, I would place a stop loss over here. Now, at this level here, I've got my fictitious take profit line, which is about 20-25 pips above my entry. The plan is if price does get back to this kind of the highs over here, what I will do, I will disable the EA. I will then add a stop loss to this particular order and trail my stop as far as I can potentially take it. So so that's the plan. And the reasons why I have gone long, as you can see on the trend dashboard, all the short-term and medium-term moving averages on every time frame are aligning. You can see here that Guppy's long-term moving averages are also aligning at the moment, which is again good to see. MACD is not showing any divergence, which is fine. There's no problem there whatsoever. You could argue that it is doing hidden bullish divergence with if you take crosshair up, you can say that price is making lower highs and the MACD is making lower lows. So again, that is hidden bullish divergence there, and as you can see now, price is starting to filter back up again, back to where my entry is. So I'm back around break even mark, but again, I'm not interested in that at the moment. I'm interested in is either push to the upside, or if it's going to push to the downside, to trigger the sell stop in there. And the last reason why I've got in this trade is I've talked about before on my channel, I don't really use the stochastics that often, but when I do, I use it in trending markets for pullback opportunities. So as you can see here, price went into oversold territory, and kind of that was my final confirmation, kind of getting off the back of this bullish bar over here to get back into the trade for a buy. So those were the reasons of why I've got into this trade. Again, let's see how we get on. Again, if it goes with me, I'll show you. If it goes against me, I'll also show you that as well. I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can with this journal. So stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated, and let's see how we get on. So you can see now that price has now started to push up and has broken the previous high, which is what we wanted to see. What I've done is I've disabled the EA, I have deleted the pending sell stop, and I've now modified the original order to have a stop loss just above the initial entry. So you can see now, worst case scenario, I'll make a whopping 6p a profit from this trade. So the plan now is to trail this particular order as far as I can take it. One thing I've been reading is dropping down to lower time frames and using the 8 EMA as a kind of a trail. So I might have a look at that. I've not dropped down yet to the 1 minute time frame to see what that currently does look like. But at the moment, I'm not planning on moving anything. I'm just seeing what the next step is here. And as you can see over here that we might start getting a classic bearish divergence, and that's not necessarily mean that price then will reverse. We've seen long, strong trends come in with that kind of scenario. So it's got still a bit of movement to kind of hit its ADR. We're at 71% of its ADR. We've also got an hour or so until the US session opens as well. So hopefully that will also provide some movement. So this take profit target, nothing will happen if it hits this take profit because the EA is disabled. So we're just going to keep that there to see what happens as time goes on. But at the moment, I'm not planning on doing anything. Worst case, I'll walk away with 6p. It is what it is, and let's hopefully we can bag in some more pips as time goes on. So stay tuned. I wanted to share the conclusion of this trade. As you can see from the terminal, we did close out at our stop loss at 1.14179, which is signified by this white line over here at 6p profit. And I think for me, price is kind of stalled now for the last few hours or so, and this pair is still showing signs of bullish movement. As you can see from the trend dashboard and the long-term moving averages, they're all pointing in the right direction, and we still got a potential 30% of the ADR still left to go. But we do have bearish divergence on the 5-minute chart as well, so there's also that to consider. And price may very well go up, or it could also go down. We don't know at this stage. And this stage, I'm not looking to get back into this trade. I think I attempted to go for it. Price did make its move up, but not long enough for me then to start trailing my stop. So for me, as long as I got the rest of the table, that was the main thing. And again, just wanted to show you guys, how trades work out, my thought process, my analysis, and this is what I kind of do in and around my day job. And there are going to be some big moves that I do miss, and when I am in those moves, I try to make sure that my analysis is correct, and making sure that we're going to at least get a break-even situation. So really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I've got a playlist coming up now of other things around trading strategies that you guys might find very useful. So click onto that now, and I should see you guys in a second.